Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Sunday the 4th of December 2016 and we are speculating about the prospect of silver outperforming gold in 2017 by a considerable margin. Year to date, gold has risen by 8% and silver by 12% in US dollar terms, having shown earlier gains of 34% and 50% respectively. There have been many influences which have caused both their rise and subsequent fall in prices. During 2016, the gold to silver ratios have moved between a peak of nearly 81 in March and a low of 66 in July. It currently stands at just a little over 70. We are aware that there are numerous influences on the price of gold and silver, most of which we have covered in previous videos. The battle now, which will determine future prices, is that between deflation and inflation, and governments around the world adopting policies to create the latter to fight against the former dominating. This has been achieved primarily through quantitative easing and money printing, lower interest rates, and consequently devaluations of currencies. Around the world we are witnessing currencies such as the Argentine peso, Nigerian naira, Egyptian pound, Venezuelan bolivar, and not forgetting the UK sterling and the euro, having fallen significantly against the US dollar in 2016 alone. The Russian ruble has its problems, and the Chinese yuan or renminbi too are continually weakening. Against this background, in most of those currencies, gold and silver have performed well, providing a hedge against devaluation. In US dollar terms currently, their rises to date have been far more modest, and many believe prices could fall further against a continuing strengthening dollar and potentially rising interest rates. The purpose of this video, however, is not to predict whether prices will rise or fall, but to focus as to whether silver could have an edge over gold during the coming 12 months. Against a backdrop of the fear of reducing industrial demand for silver should the world's economies falter further, here is a list of 5 reasons why silver could actually outperform gold. 1. At a gold to silver ratio of 70, it is still relatively high in historical terms, and a more balanced 50 to 60 should eventually become more realistic and accepted. 2. Silver, despite recent falls in industrial demand, has continued to experience a supply deficit against overall demand, and that is also predicted for 2016 by the Silver Institute, and signs indicate similar may occur in 2017. 3. The Trump presidency has promised to embark on major infrastructure development, and it is quite possible, coupled with other countries doing similar, we may in fact see an increased industrial demand for silver. 4. As currencies further devalue, the general public and investors are becoming increasingly aware of the hedging properties of gold and silver. With gold prices being out of reach for many ordinary people, silver is likely to become the popular choice again. And 5. This final reason is, in our opinion, the most important influencer for 2017. Countries are beginning to restrict imports of gold. Only last Thursday, China implemented gold import controls in order to help combat cross-border flight of its currency. Rumours abound that India too are considering once again restricting gold imports, in addition to its removal and replacement of 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. If this occurs in the two major gold-buying countries of the world, we may very well witness investors purchasing silver in its place, as no such controls currently apply. Bankers and traders told the Financial Times last week that some gold importers have had difficulty obtaining approval to bring in gold, as the weakening renminbi raises Chinese investors' interest in the metal. The map is currently unclear. However, with nations attempting to move ever closer to a digital currency, and with gold being not only the major go-to, but also the major go-after asset by central banks and governments, silver may very well be the precious metal that will slip through the regulatory net. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumb up and share it on Twitter. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe as a free member for regular email updates and offers. Our Facebook page, which is updated daily, can be found at facebook.com/illuminatisilver. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.